Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Eagles Film Room here on Philly Sports Network with myself, Liam Jenkins. 2 in 2 days, it's NFC Championship week. We're gonna go in hard, and that's exactly what these two players are going to do. It's possibly the most intriguing matchup of the entire game. It's Alshon Jeffery against cornerback Xavier Rhodes. Now, Rhodes, of course, of the Minnesota Vikings, in his 5th season now, is really coming alive as one of the best press corners in the league. Now, he may not be a ball hawk with 2 interceptions to his name, and his tackling could potentially still use some work, but at 6'1" and 218 pounds, Rhodes loves to get up at the line of scrimmage, disrupt the timing of routes, and make life hell for the receivers that he's facing. It just so happens though that Alshon Jeffery really thrives on mistakes by corners or overly aggressive guys at the line where he can punish them with some quick twitchy footwork and breaking down the stem of the route. This alone makes for an intriguing matchup, but even more so is the fact that the two actually faced off twice in 2016. I decided to break the film down to see who really has the advantage coming into Sunday. We're going to start with comeback routes, a staple of this new look Eagles offense, and Rhodes is a corner who wants to initiate contact. Jeffery wants separation. Now he stiff arms Rhodes here, throws him away. The ball's underthrown and nearly picked off, but if we watch what Jeffery does with that outside arm and simply pushes Rhodes to the other side, he has to flip his hips and make the adjustment. Now it's a quick recovery from Rhodes, the ball was underthrown. This time though, what we see is Alshon Jeffery make that first step. Watch that back foot make a huge stride towards the boundary, giving Alshon Jeffery just a slight bit of leverage here. Now, with inside leverage for Xavier Rhodes, it gives Jeffery that slight momentum boost to turn his back to the corner, knowing he's got the boundary on his side. Unfortunately, that play wasn't targeted whatsoever. A little bit later down the bottom of your screen though, Jeffery was targeted and it did fall complete. It's the only time that Jeffery caught a comeback route against Xavier Rhodes. But back in week 8, this was a situation. This is what happens when Rhodes gets all over you. Now that was perfect coverage. We watch it again. Rhodes stride for stride, arm on the receiver, not quite a holding call, not quite defensive pass interference, but enough to disrupt the pattern and easily force Nick Foles to look the other way. Jeffery's a man who thrives in open space, and if you give him half a chance, he will dominate. We saw this in week 8 out of the slot here. It's a simple route in the back of the end zone with Rhodes in off coverage, breaks in his face. He's unable to come down with the pass that was slightly overthrown, but he's able to run at Xavier Rhodes and assert his authority, and that's what Jeffery does best when he's in that mental control at the line of scrimmage. This first step here, Rhodes is a little bit too tight on his footwork and Jeffery breaks right across his front, and this forces Rhodes to flip his hips. Jeffery has to step in the inside leverage. He went untargeted, but we'll see it again later here. This is back in week 8. Rhodes is one-on-one in man coverage once again. Jeffery gets those extra steps, and by the time Rhodes initiates coverage, it's a 50-50 ball. Jeffery's worked his way to a step inside, and if we take a look at the room along the boundary that he's given here when Jay Cutler launches his bomb down the sideline, it's a 50-50 play we don't see Nick Foles making. The Eagles will have to trust in Alshon Jeffery if they're gonna win this game. If the Eagles can just afford Nick Foles some time in the pocket, then we could see a dominant day from Alshon Jeffery. If he gets that step inside, he'll work his way across the seam over the face of Xavier Rhodes, and at the stem of the route, when contact's at its fullest, he's not phased, actually closes over the cornerback. The ball again goes incomplete, but it doesn't matter. Alshon Jeffery has got that breakout ability. He signals to the offense he's ready, takes that first step, again comes across the inside, and then breaks over the stem. The moment he puts that foot in the ground and separates, it's game over. Now, the ball again did not come his way, and the Eagles are going to need to find a way to get Alshon Jeffery some targets. They've struggled with that previously. But watch this route slowed down. Jeffery takes that first step, swims off the contact, puts his foot in the ground and turns away from Xavier Rhodes, and that is something very hard to do. Both of these guys love to dominate at the line of scrimmage, and we'll see one more example of Jeffery simply breezing past that outside push from Rhodes. But what about when that's not an option? What about if it's zone, or if it's off coverage, or they're trying to play something different here against Alshon Jeffery? Now, Rhodes is still in man coverage. He's still trying to keep Jeffery quiet, but watch the back pedal. There are a few cornerbacks with better change of direction, better mirror match, and better read and react here than Xavier Rhodes. He just closes over the top of Alshon Jeffery, gets out of his back pedal quick, and doesn't sit on his back foot too long. He sits on the route. He doesn't keep his eyes pinned in the backfield, and that is something so difficult to do to find that balance when playing inside leverage. We'll see it again here. Jeffery cuts across and Rhodes immediately just flips and almost boosts forward off of that back foot without taking the extra step. In the red zone, Alshon Jeffery is a demon and we know we're going to see some targets. But look at this. Rhodes just simply plays inside leverage. He does not want Jeffery anywhere near that back corner of the end zone. Takes the comeback route, leaps over the back, then forces the incompletion. On zone here, he's back to the ball, but his eyes are on the ball, and all that means is he can leap in front of Jeffery and make a big play. It sounds simple enough, but he's almost crab walking. His eyes in the backfield. He knows he has safety help over the top. He knows it's zone coverage. He just crabs his way to the sideline and makes a huge leap on the ball, knowing that Jeffery is going to have a safety behind him. But I want to end this video with this play. It's not a reception, it's not a catch, it's not a pass breakup. Just look at these two, even in the run. Look at them tussle it up. Look at them get angry and get after each other. This is going to be a gladiator matchup time and time again. Whether it's these two guys going head to head, whether it's these two guys in the pass, in the run, whatever it may be, this is going to be a ferocious matchup and I can't wait to see how it unfolds. Let me know in the comments, guys, who you think has the advantage going into Sunday. Is it Alshon Jeffery who's going to torch Xavier Rhodes for 100 yards, or is Rhodes going to come out swinging with an NFC Championship to his name as well? Thank you so much for tuning in. I can't believe we're at 700 subscribers. We may even upload a third video this week, so if you do want to see that, let's get it to 800 by the weekend. Let's keep pushing, and don't forget daily Eagles content over at phillysportsnetwork.com.